Hey guys, want to say before this video starts, if you haven't seen my other video on how to walk correctly, go watch that before you watch that video, because this video might make a bit more sense in the context of that video. So if you haven't seen that, go watch it. I'll put a link somewhere. Hope you enjoy the video. Hey, what's going on, guys? Got a video for you guys today. This is all going to be about walking mechanics, okay? Kind of developing on my last video. You guys seem to like that one. Last one talking just about some of the basics about correct walking form, okay? This video is going to be more about different tools, different exercises, different stretches you can use to sort of enforce good patterns, okay? And open up some of your tight muscles that might be forcing you into bad posture and forcing you into bad mechanics. Okay, so first we can take a look at stretching. And like I just mentioned, sometimes you'll have tight muscles that actually force you into certain positions, and they prevent you from reaching certain positions, okay? So for most people are quite tight in the hips here because we sit so much. We're constantly flexing our hip, and not enough are we extending our hip. Okay, so probably one that you've seen before, you just take a knee. It's good if you have some sort of padding on your knee, and you're just going to engage your glute, okay? You should already feel a stretch maybe in your quad or in your hip flexor, okay? Just engage the glute and then slightly push forward, not much. You're mostly focusing on opening up the front here. You don't have to sink way into it. You can, but you don't need to. At first, it's actually better to just squeeze the muscles and feel the stretch that way, okay? And ideally, you would want to do this for about 1 minute each side, once, twice, 3 times a day, something like that. Another thing, people are quite tight. You may be quite tight, and it could be affecting your walking mechanics. Okay, is your feet. Okay, so what I have here is just a rock. You can use a lacrosse ball. You can use a rock. You can use anything hard, round, to sort of release some tightness in your feet. Hope you can see my feet. Okay, so you just find spots where it kind of hurts, and just try and relax your muscles and let the tension release. Guys, you got a lot of muscles. There's a lot of musculature down in your foot, a lot of different muscles. There's a lot going on down there, and it's sort of an overlooked area, which is ironic because it's really your foundation. Okay, it's a very important place, so take care of your feet. This is a great way to do that. Okay, I'm going to take my shirt off because it's getting a little hot. Okay, next up, most people are quite tight, myself included, around the thoracic spine. Okay, thoracic spine is sort of your mid-upper back. Okay, not quite as high as your neck, but just about here. It's a hard area to touch. Okay, so to open that up, you can do something similar if you have like a foam roller. You can lay the foam roller down and just put it right there, put your hands behind your back, and just kind of open it up. Okay, another thing you can do is just stand in place, hands behind your head, okay, and then just slightly lean back and open up your shoulders and chest, and then just take some deep breaths. You may start shaking. If you're shaking, that's a good sign. So just like this. And again, maybe 1 minute, something like that. Okay, so as far as stretching, one more, sorry, I almost skipped an important one. Okay, not often enough do we bend to the side. Okay, most of our daily work is we're like sitting down, working in front, we're driving, we're walking, we're doing a lot of stuff in front, and we're not bending to the side much. Okay, so a lot of people, they're kind of tight. I think it's in the lumbar spine. Okay, so what you can do is just raise your hands up and just slightly lean to one side. Okay, and the other side. You may also feel a stretch up in your lat, in your shoulder, in your arm. Okay, and guys, these are some of the basics. Okay, these are some of the common tight areas that that I find in myself and I find in people I know. You need to sort of explore your body and find out what's tight. Like for me, also my quads are quite tight, so I need to stretch those. Everybody's different. Hamstrings, probably ought to hit your hamstrings too. Okay, so that's enough for as far as stretching goes. Now we'll move on to actual exercises. Okay, and most all of these are going to be using the rope. So I have a video about how to make a rope. Okay, this is just climbing rope, about 4 meters, 5 meters, and then you tie a hanging line knot. I believe it's called a hanging line knot. And the length should be, when you put your foot in the middle, it should come up just below your sternum. Okay. So this tool is going to teach you the correct movement patterns, and it's going to reinforce the correct movement patterns in a balanced way. Okay, it's going to give you feedback if you're not moving correctly. Okay. So grab your rope, and just the first one is just a basic underhand roll. Okay, just the basic underhand roll. This has carryover to walking and running, because when you walk, you're doing the same thing. You're doing this rolling motion. Okay. Yeah, you might see it. Okay, so I'm rolling with the rope. And keep in mind, I'm not just rolling with my hands. Okay, it's not what we're doing. Yes, that you're doing the roll, but I'm rolling with my spine. I'm using my spinal engine. Okay, it's not in the hands; it's in the spine. Okay, so you see that movement? Whoop, whoop. It's the same when you walk. Whoop, 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 whoop. And this is also why we did the stretching with the side leaning. Okay, it's going to make it a bit easier to reach those positions, to be more comfortable. Okay, so underhand roll, get those reps in. It's a basic move. If you want to do the advanced version, okay, you do something called a cheetah tail. Okay, so that looks like this. So it's behind the back. See my hand. And that's really going to open up the shoulders, open up the front of the chest, at the same time getting you in that side bending rolling motion. Okay. Okay, next one, my personal favorite. This one's called the Hanuman's dance. Okay, you kind of look like a monkey when you do this one. It's similar to a dragon roll, if y'all know what that is. And then you got a sneak this way, and then you got a sneak this way. So overhand sneak this way. Sorry, I'm messing up here. Overhand sneak this way, underhand sneak this way, and then you do both at the same time, and it looks like that. There it is. Okay, this is great for shoulder mobility. Okay, and it's also great for reinforcing the pattern necessary for correct walking technique as far as your upper body and your shoulder skill. Okay, I'll see if you guys can see the pattern. Okay, when you walk, boom, 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 boom. You see it's sort of the same. I'm over exaggerating a bit, but it's pretty much the same. And it's the same when you run too. Okay, I can only run a few steps here, but you see? Sort of like this. Okay, for correct walking, like that. Okay, as far as the rope goes, basically anything you do with this tool is going to reinforce good habits as far as biomechanics goes. But those two I found to have the most carryover to my running and to my walking. Okay, underhand, and then the Hanuman's dance. And make sure you do that both ways too. So I'm going this way, also a little trickier that way. We'll work on that. Go the other way too. Okay, so some other tips. You probably want to record yourself. Okay, set up your phone or use a mirror and walk to the side. Walk to the side. Walk straight front and back. Okay. And if you guys haven't seen already, go watch my other video on correct walking form, and this video might make more sense in the context of that video if you haven't seen that yet. You need to practice alone at first, in my opinion, because it feels weird socially to sort of walk with so much uprightness. Okay, you might feel a little conceited or vain, but that's why it's good to practice alone first and then take it out into public. Another tip: listen to good music. I don't know about you guys, but for me, if I listen to a song that I'm really liking, it affects my stride. It affects the way I'm moving. It makes me feel a bit more confident and a bit more tapped in. I don't know how to describe it. It just feels good. It makes me feel good, and that sort of reflects in the way that I move my body. Other than that, guys, I think that's about it. Go watch my other video on how to walk correctly. Okay, it looks like this. Yeah, other than that, hope you guys find that useful. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next video.